Yesterday's class we have gone through different in what all the different types of inputs that can be involved to produce an output, even though the device is designed for a particular desired input. Means any measuring instrument will be designed with respect to one desired input. Okay, that will give this input as a this one, so that you will be getting the output. But what happens is, due to the presence of different types of noises, interference, the input, not only the desired input, other inputs will be involved without the knowledge also. So those types of inputs we have seen, that modifying input and interfering input. So along with the output, not only will be with respect to the desired input, but the output will also be with respect to the modified input, interfering input, modified input. With respect to this one, we have considered one example, that is a measurement of a differential pressure of a fluid. Okay, so here what happens is, here let us consider the measurement of a differential pressure of a fluid. You consider this as a tube, U-tube. In this U-tube, a liquid is present, that is monolithic meter fluid, monometric fluid. What is this fluid? Monometric fluid, that is mercury. This one is used for the measurement of a differential pressure of the fluid. Okay. Here what we'll do is, the pressure is applied at the two ends of the U-tube. See here, P1 and near P2. Two ends of the U-tube. On two ends of the U-tube, we are applying a pressure P1, P2. The differential pressure P will be P1 minus P2. Okay. So here what happens is, if P1, if both the pressure, there will be three conditions. What is one? Is P1 and P2 both may be equal. One more condition is P1 may be greater than P2, and one more condition is P2 may be greater than P3. These are the three conditions, right? If in case if P1 is equal to P2, if P1, the pressure applied at P1 and P2 are both same, the differential pressure is 0. Means P is equal to P1 minus P2 is 0. The differential pressure will be equal to what? 0. Getting? Will be 0. This is on account of pressure of interference inputs act on the two of which. For example, even though if P1 is equal to P2, if P1 is equal to P2, then also there will be some output instead of 0. That one will be due to the presence of an interference input. Getting? See, in case P1 equal to P2, the differential pressure is 0. And therefore the output, that is the scale will reading, H should be 0. However, there are examples when scale reading H is not 0, even though P1 and P2 is equal to 0. Means even though P1 and P2 are equal, the output result will not be equal to 0, because see, if P1 is more than P2, you think, if P1 is more than P2 means what happens? The mercury level, it will be pushed more here and it will be raised here, because P1 is greater than P2. If P1 is equal to P2, what happens? This pressure level will be equal to same. But if it is same means what happens? P1 minus P2, what? This height will be 0. Getting? See, this pressure is more, this liquid will be more pushed towards P2. So difference you see H. H amount is more on the P2 side. H is more on the P2 side. if both are equal, P1 and P2 are equal, this level will be same, right? Then H1 will be 0. But even though P1 is equal to P2, then also the H will appear. That will be due to the interfering input. Here I have mentioned no desired input, interfering input. Means interfering input is an unwanted input which will be present, which has to be eliminated. That interfering input will be present due to many conditions that we will be discussing now. Okay, here what? Even though P1, P2 is equal to 0, H should be equal to 0, right? But H will not be equal to 0. That is due to the interfering inputs. There are two cases with respect to the measurement. What are those two cases? See here. These see, there will be an acceleration. Here, see this device is called as a manometer. Okay, when this device which is placed on the vehicle, that is accelerated. For example, you will be riding the vehicle, right? There is an accelerometer. Like that, these type of manometers which are used for the measurement of deflection of a speed, torque, force, pressure, these type will be mounted on a vehicle, that is which will be accelerated. Although the pressure at both the inputs of the nanometer are equal, if P1 is equal to P2, a differential pressure is created on account of acceleration, and therefore the scale of indicating a reading of H thus acts as an interfering input. Due to the movement of the vehicle, there is an acceleration. As this manometer is mounted on the vehicle, there will be an acceleration which creates an interference. Even though P1 and P2 are equal, then also there will be some variation that is called as interfering input. That is one reason, acceleration. One more reason is due to the angle of tilting. Due to the angle of tilting. Another case of interfering input. In this case, what happens is the manometer is not properly aligned. Means its base is not horizontally aligned with a gravity vector. Because of the angle of the tilt, therefore there is an output H even though there is no differential pressure. Hence, angle of tilt theta acts as an interfering input. Getting? Write down this one. This is a basic measurement of differential pressure with manometer. When P1 and P2 are equal, even though H will be appearing. Why is that H is appearing? The reason are, one is acceleration as an interfering input. One more is angle of tilt as an interfering input. Write down. See, whatever you are understanding, write down. That is very important. Copy down and write what I have explained. These are the two reasons. One reason is acceleration when it is mounted on a vehicle. As the vehicle moves, what happens? There will be an acceleration, right? These are the condition, and P1 and P2 both are same. Okay. So he has written P1, P1. Huh? Any problem you have? Huh?
No, mom, we are right.
Someone has unmuted. Is when an monometer is placed not horizontally. There is a tilting angle. Due to the tilting angle also, there will be a difference in the indication. Even though the indicator should be 0, but it won't show 0. See now, this was the desired input. What is the, see this is an example for desired input, modified input, interfering input. Now based on the with the desired input, the output will be combination of desired, modified, interference. Okay. Now when we give a desired, automatically interference input will be interfered. That was due to, one is due to acceleration, another one due to angle of tilt. Then how to overcome this one? How to overcome this acceleration, error and angle of tilt? Because of these two reasons, there is a H. H should be 0, that is P1 minus P2 should be 0. Even though P1 minus P2 should be 0, you are getting some H. How to eliminate that H? How to eliminate that H is, okay, by providing a modified input. How to provide a modified input is, see, modified input for the manometer are, one is temperature. By increasing the temperature, there will be a possibility to decrease the error, which is H, due to the reason of acceleration of angle of tilt and a gravitational force and ambient temperature. In many ways, what happens? It modifies the input-output relationship. Change in the ambient temperature changes the length of the calibrated scale, thereby modifying the proportionality factor relating the input-output. There is some H, no, that can be varied, that can be controlled by increasing the temperature. By increasing the temperature, what happens? The mercury level can be brought to a desired level. That is what we are providing a modified input. How? In terms of increasing the temperature by providing a gravitational force. These are the ways how we can eliminate interfering input by providing a modified input. By providing a modified input, we can eliminate this thing. Getting? That is what? Desired input, modified input, interfering input. For the desired input, interfering input was provided due to acceleration and angle of tilt. We will be providing modified input. How is the modified input is provided? By increasing the temperature or gravitational force. Why we are providing modified input? In order to nullify the interfering input, so that we will be getting a desired output for desired input. The modified input is provided to cancel the interfering input. Okay, due to which there will be a change in the output. No, that one. Okay. Come to measurement of strain gauge using a Wheatstone bridge. Measurement of strain gauge using a Wheatstone bridge. So this is what? This you will be knowing. What is a bridge network? A bridge network is a one in which 4 resistors are connected in a polynomial form. When you connect a 4 resistors in a polynomial form, it will form as a bridge. It will form as a bridge. Okay. When the bridge will be balanced, when all the resistors which are connected in the bridge will be of same value, or if the ratio of R1 by R3 and R2 by R4 are, then the bridge is said to be balanced. Okay. Always the bridge should be balanced, then only we will be getting a desired output. Okay. Here what measurement of a strain gauge means? Here a cantilever. See, cantilever is there, strain gauge is there. Okay, pressure is applied on the cantilever. This is the bridge. 4 resistors R2, R3, R4. This one will be considered as R1. Though, so these 3 values will be known. R2, R3, R4 values will be known, and whereas strain gauge resistance value will be not known. This strain gauge value, resistance value will be varying based on the force applied on the cantilever. Okay. If the output is, if the Wheatstone bridge is not balanced, then you will be getting some output. This output indicates that the value of this one is not similar to the value of all this. When the output voltage is 0, it means that the resistance value provided by the strain gauge is balanced. Is balanced, same as R2, R3 and R4. Then R1, R2, R3, R4 both are equal to R. If it is R, then it is called as the bridge is balanced. Okay. So how it can be varied? based on the force applied on the cantilever. Based on the force applied on the cantilever, the resistance value of the strain gauge will vary. If it is the force is applied such that the resistance value is more when compared to these three, it means that you will be getting an output. It indicates that the resistance value of strain gauge is more. If force is applied more, the resistance value will decrease. When until it becomes equal, then the bridge is balanced. Then you will be getting output. In this manner, the force is measured in terms of resistance of a strain gauge by connecting it to a bridge. Write down this diagram. The last topic of this chapter, methods of correlation for interfering and modifying input. Methods of correlation for interfering and modifying inputs. Methods of correction for interfering and modifying inputs means, as I mentioned, see, one device will design so that whatever desired input will give, for that desired output will be obtaining. If that is not getting, if for a desired input, we are not getting desired output because of the interfering input as well as modifying inputs. So how to correct those? There are 5 methods. One method is method of inherent insensitivity, method of high gain feedback, method of calculated output corrections, method of signal filtering, and method of opposing inputs. Okay. So any one method they may ask in the exam. Okay, if they are asking for 12 marks, then all the methods they may ask. If not, each method they will be asking for 6 marks. Okay. Right. come to method of inherent insensitivity. In case of method of inherent insensitivity, what happens is, here the device is designed such that it is more sensitive to the inputs and are insensitive to both interfering and modifying inputs. Getting what? Method of inherent insensitivity. Method of inherent insensitivity, what these are uh, the circuits are designed such that they are very sensitive to the desired input and they are insensitive to what? Interfering and modifying input. Okay, so the approach adopted is not practicable in many situations but act as a motivating factor in many cases to elimination of effects of different types of input. For example, see, a temperature is an interfering input in the case of a measurement of a strain gauge. With the help of a strain gauge, the method of inherent insensitivity motivates one for finding and using material for strain gauge that have a very low resistive temperature coefficient. If such a material could be found, the problem of interfering temperature inputs is partially solved. Means when you come to a strain gauge, this material is very sensitive to the temperature. If there is a change in the temperature, what happens? Automatically the resistance offered by this one will also change. Okay, what is the method so that interfering temperature can be eliminated is, see to it that the material used for a strain gauge should be such that it is not affected by the temperature. If that type of material is used here, then this complete strain gauge, which is used for the measurement of force and pressure, can be not affected with respect to temperature, which is an interfering input, provided the strain gauge made with a material which is less sensitive, not affected by the temperature. If that type of material is found, if this strain gauge is made with that material, then what happens? Automatically this circuit complete measuring instrument is made desired input. For the desired input, it will not affect with respect to the temperature or interfering input. Getting understood? Write down 2 lines related to method of interfering insensitivity. Come to method of high gain feedback. In case of method of high gain feedback, Here, whatever the feedback concept we are using, the upper diagram is called as a open loop configuration. Whereas if a feedback is taken from the output to the input, it is called as a closed loop closed loop gain, or it is also called as a feedback system. This is not feedback. If feedback is not there, it is open loop configuration. If feedback is there, it is closed loop configuration. Here what happens is, whatever the feedback we are taking, it plays an important part in modifying measurements and control systems, because they can easily be adopted to perform their assigned task automatically. For example, we know that a vehicle instrument, right? Accelerometer. I have given on this example. If you go on by seeing, your eyes will be seeing the reading, and your hand will be increasing the accelerometer. Your eyes will be acting as a feedback to your hand. Your eyes will tell, yes, speed is more, reading is more. Then what? Automatically your hand will decrease the accelerometer. In this type, it is called as a feedback. Means it will play an important role in the measurement and controlling systems, which will be done automatically. The most significant advantage of using feedback system is that the use of feedback makes the system response relatively insensitive to the modified input. By using the feedback, what happens is the desired input will be less affected by the other interfering outputs, because we will come to know in the output only, we will come to know the output is more affected by the interfering input. Based on that, when you give to the input, it based on that value, it will be minusing or plusing the input signal. Okay, so that the desired input will be given to a system, which will be gained by GD. Without feedback, there will be effect of the interfering inputs. Okay. With feedback, what happens? The input will come to know that what affect the output is affected by the interfering input. Based on that, the input will be increased or decreased in order to nullify the interfering input. Getting? Right.
Mom?
Tell me.
Mom, can you show the first one, Mom?
Yeah. So, first one, no figure for inherent insensitivity. It is a theoretical concept. Huh? Only second month. In the first one, they have given an example that a temperature. So this one. If the strain gauge material, if it is used such that it is not affected with respect to temperature, then what happens? The temperature is the interfering input. Okay. If it is the material is not at all affected with the temperature, means compulsory there will be no effect of interfering input. So we should search a material such that which is not affected by temperature. Then if you use that material here, then what happens? This strain gauge resistance will not vary with respect to temperature, like that. You can give this as example for first one. Huh?
Yes, Mom.
This come to next. So method of one more is the method of calculated output correction. Method of calculated output correction. This is again a theoretical concept. Method of calculated output correction is a theoretical concept. So this one, what it means is, this method requires the knowledge of the magnitude of interfering or modifying inputs, and also the mathematical relationship which describes the way these inputs affects the output. what this, as the name itself will indicate, it is a calculated output correction. Calculated output correction means whenever any measuring instrument is there, the user must be knowing, or a designer must know what is the effect of interfering as well as modifying inputs is needed, its value, and what amount of that value is affecting the output. Based on that value, calculated value information, it becomes possible to calculate the errors in the output caused by interfering and modifying input. Thus, the correction can be applied to measured output to compute the output corresponding to the desired input. Means, for example, in case, with the example only we will be understanding this concept very clear. For example, in case of this one, here based on the temperature also, the mercury level can be increased or decreased. Okay, when we come to know that what is the error in the output, once we come to know what is that error in the output, based on the pressure, we can increase the temperature so that the temperature will, that amount of temperature can be calculated and will be increased so that that level will be decreased. When we know calculation, no, when we know that the output value is varying with respect to this amount, one value, based on that value, the designer will calculate what must be the temperature value so that when increased, when the environment temperature is increased with that amount, then this error can be nullified. Means, for the case of a measurement of a differential pressure, here we are, this is a case where we are measuring the differential pressure. The effect of temperature on the scale length, the effect of temperature on the scale length and on the density of mercury can easily be calculated in the case if we know what is the temperature, right? Just by knowing the values with how much amount the modifying or interfering input is affecting, based on that we will go and increase the temperature so that those two can be nullified. Means based on the calculation values. On the calculation values.